Can you write a script that you are not emotionally invested in?
Wow. Okay, so here's a thought. Can you write a script that you're not emotionally invested in? I would say if you claim that you are not emotionally invested in a script, if you claim, I have a script I'm not emotionally invested in, I would say that's frightening that you're not emotionally invested. I think you are emotionally invested. Some people are emotionally invested in it being good, it being successful, it being bought, it being made. That's an emotional investment. But that's not the most important one. The most important is the emotional investment in the story and the characters and the journey you're going to take the audience on. If you really don't care, what the audience is going to respond, then don't make the movie. Don't. I think the most important reason we make movies or do television or theater is because we want to communicate something to those people out there that are going to see it. Something. You may not be aware what it is. One thought in making a movie, writing it, directing, acting it, the whole process. Think about this. We'll start with the writing. You start to write a screenplay. You have an idea. I can tell you right from the beginning, and this is what I discuss with a lot of writers that I work with, right from the beginning, there's something burning inside you that you want to say. You may not know what it is, and that's fine. You don't have to right at the beginning. You may not know what's driving you, but something is driving you. Something is pushing you to tell that personal story. And the reason you want to write the script, the reason you want to make the film is because you want that story to be told. And if I asked you, what's really driving you? What is the story really all about? What is the storytelling process really all about for you? You may not know. And I can tell you right now when you will know. You will know when it's done. When the film is done, the script is done, whenever it's done, you can look back on it. It will reveal itself to you what you were really doing, why you're making this film, why you're telling this story. And this is a way of storytelling that helps us, as storytellers, reveal to us who we really are. Any scriptwriter who writes an entire screenplay that never gets made, maybe even never gets read, there's something that happened in the writing of that screenplay. You had an opportunity to see something about yourself that you weren't aware of. It's a mirror back to you. And even if nothing happens, you write it and then you throw it away, something happened. It will probably change you, or it'll change your perception of you, or your understanding of you. It may be frightening what you see. It's okay. It's all safe. But how do you create a product, say a screenplay, and get to the point where you can let it go and let others do what they want with it, which will happen frequently. It happens all the time. It happens to a lot of people that I work with, a lot of very, very skilled writers and directors who have a lot of power. They really have a lot of power. And I hear from them the stories of how that power is taken away from them, how the script is changed for whatever reasons. What you really need to do, especially as a writer, and you've written a screenplay, can you be satisfied with the quality of the screenplay that you have written, even though it was rejected, even though it was bought and changed, even though it was taken out of your hands and altered beyond recognition? Can you be gratified with the quality of what you wrote the first time? Think about that. Same thing with a novelist. Can you write a novel and at the end of the writing of it go, I'm happy with it. That's the novel I wanted to write. That's the story I wanted to write, and that's how I wanted to write it. And if it never gets published, never goes beyond that, is that enough for you? You need to allow that to be enough. Enough to say, I have this beautiful novel, it's sitting in this box. I'm so happy with it. Nobody wants to publish it, nobody wants to buy it, but it's there. It exists. I created it. It's like an artist creating a painting that nobody will ever buy, and they still have the painting, and they love that painting. Well, it's theirs. Can you live with that? For directors and actors, it becomes a little more difficult because a director can make a film and do a director's cut that they're happy with, but then it's ripped apart and turned into something else. It's hard. Be happy with your director's cut. Be happy with it. And for actors who have very little power, because their power is taken away from them by the producers and the director and the whole post-production process, to the point where they see a film and go, wow, I don't even recognize my performance because it was so chopped up and everything. Can you be pleased, gratified, and happy with the quality of the work you did while you were shooting? And just let it be that, the knowledge of what you did, what you gave them. What they did with it is what they did. But what you gave was some of your best work, and just be gratified with that.